In the courtroom, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is case number 74 on the calendar in the matter of Massaro versus Kozlowski. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
You gentlemen are neighbors. You had a goat. You have dogs.
Yes, I do.
Your complaint says that his dogs killed your goat.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you want to be compensated.
Yes.
Before we get into the case, tell me what you're doing with a goat.
I have several animals. I've always had animals, and we live out in an area where we can have animals.
What other animals do you have?
Ducks, chickens, geese, dogs.
Are they all
cats.
Fenced in?
Yeah, yes, they are.
How do you know that his dogs killed your goat?
Well, on September of last year, 2 dogs jumped my back fence. My neighbor, which is here with me today, called us to tell us that she saw the dogs jump the fence and attack my goat. So I ran out of my house and into the backyard, and as I was running out to stop it, the dogs jumped the fence and ran down the alley. So when I got to the fence, I looked down the alley and the dogs were standing there looking at me. I looked to the other end of the alley and I saw 3 kids on bikes, and I asked them to come over here, and they came over, and I asked them if they knew whose dogs they were. And one of the kids, which is the defendant's son, said they're mine. And I said, okay, you better get them and get them out of here. You know, I don't want them around here. So my wife was all upset. So she followed the kid on the bike with the dogs to the house. That's how we knew where they lived.
What kind of dogs do you have, sir?
They're a Rottweiler German Shepherd mix.
Both of them.
Both of them.
Shh.
They're very nice dogs.
Okay.
So anyway, my wife went down there, and the defendant's wife came home at that time, and she told them what had happened and to keep her dogs put away, and she said she would definitely keep them contained.
Okay.
And then after that, about 2 months went by, and it was Thanksgiving Eve, and my neighbor saw the same dogs jump the fence again.
Come up. Would you step up here?
Hi,
Tell me your name.
Pamela Sims.
Ms. Sims, he says that for a second time you saw the same dogs jump his fence. Are you positive you saw the same dogs?
Yes, it was the same dogs.
How do you know?
I seen them because the first time I seen them when they jumped the fence the first time.
What'd they look like?
Like you said, German Shepherd mix.
Big.
Yes.
Have you ever seen other dogs in the area that looked like that?
No.
Okay. And on Thanksgiving you saw them jump the fence again.
Yes.
Did you see them jump back over the fence?
I seen him jump back over the fence because his kids came and got the dogs.
You mean the defendants?
Yeah, by his kids.
And how did you know they were his children?
Because I seen the kids before with the dogs.
In their own house or on the street?
No, on the street.
On a leash?
No, running with a rope around their necks.
The dogs
Yes.
had a rope around their necks. So when did this happen to your goat?
Thanksgiving Eve, I guess, is when they attacked him, and we weren't home, so she called and left a message on our machine, which we got home late that night, so we didn't get the message till in the morning. I went out to feed the animals like I normally do, and this goat always jumps up and gets all excited, and he wasn't jumping up, and I didn't know what was wrong. So when I got closer, I noticed there was blood and fur all over the place. So I went back in the house to tell my wife.
So this was the same day or the morning after when you had seen the same 2 dogs jumping over the fence.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So then I went back in to ask my wife to come out and help me see what was wrong with him. And at that time, she was listening to the messages and heard the message. So we went out and looked at him. I laid him down, held him down so she could pull his leg open because he was torn up inside there. And it was a big, huge hole. So we didn't know what to do, so we started calling vets and animal hospitals in the area, and nobody was open. It was Thanksgiving Day. So we waited until the next morning, took him into the animal hospital, and they looked him over and said they'll do what they can and call us. So we were going away for the whole weekend, and we couldn't care for him. And so I asked them if they could keep him for the weekend, and they said sure, it'd be better if they kept him anyway to take care of him. And I said, okay, great. So when we got home Sunday morning, there was a message on the machine saying to call them. So I called them, and they had informed me that he had died.
So what are you suing the defendant for?
Just for the vet bill.
Okay, sir. Mr. Kozlowski, let me tell you, sir, that I believe this lady when she says that she has seen your dogs out without being properly leashed. I want you to know that I believe her.
Okay.
And that's not a very smart thing. When you have large dogs, you're supposed to be responsible for them. And clearly, they got out at least once, probably twice. How many children do you have?
I have two.
2 boys?
Boy and a girl.
When you say you saw his children with the dog, did you see a boy and a girl?
It was 2 boys.
2 boys?
Yes.
Well, he has a boy and a girl.
I know, but I know his son. I've seen his son before, but it must have been one of his friends because I see them together all the time, the 2 boys.
How many times have you seen his son?
I've seen him about 2 times.
How long have you lived in that neighborhood?
I've been living there for about 4 years.
How far does he live from where you are?
Around the corner.
How many times have you seen him?
First time.
This is the first time?
Yes.
Not a very friendly neighborhood. How many times had you seen each other before this incident?
When he
Never.
knocked on my door, that was the first time I seen him and told me he was going to sue me, as he's suing other neighbors.
No, that's not what happened.
What is he suing other neighbors for?
He's blaming someone for crashing into his car.
He's got the wrong
just
name.
one of those neighbors.
Just a second. He says he's not suing anybody.
And I hear he's shooting at any animal that walks by
just a
his
sec.
property.
You suing anybody else, sir?
No, ma'am.
And I don't let my kids around the corner. They only play in front of my house.
They're by our
it.
house all the time.
Shh.
That's not true.
Sir, what kind of work do you do?
Elevators.
So you're out of the house?
Yeah.
How old is your son?
My son is 10.
10-year-old.
My daughter's 5.
I have a 10-year-old grandson. He goes pretty much wherever he wants to go when nobody's looking.
Well, I try to keep him in front of the
I know,
house.
but they do pretty much whatever they want to do when nobody's looking.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. John Massaro says Edward Kozlowski's dogs killed his pet goat.
I believe this lady when she says she saw your 2 dogs jumping over the fence on Thanksgiving. She called the house, left a message. She said they were the same dogs that she had seen before. You know, you're never going to prove this kind of case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Absolutely. I do keep the dogs locked up. I make sure of it.
Well,
I don't want other neighbors to complain.
But
I'm being courteous
I think-
just like everyone else. I don't want the dogs to get out of the yard.
But, sir, they did get out.
Okay.
They did get out. I believe, based upon this lady's testimony, you weren't home, so you really don't know. But I believe, based on this lady's testimony, that the same 2 dogs that she saw a couple of months before she saw again immediately after that, his goat winds up injured. You're just lucky that what didn't wind up injured was somebody's child.
Oh,
because that's a
absolutely.
possibility.
Oh, I have 2
And
kids
you
of my
know
own.
that there is a jurisdiction in this country that recently put 2 people on trial, a very nice couple, who had 2 large dogs that got out and killed a child at a bus stop. Did you know that?
Well, they're responsible
No.
for
Do you
those
know?
dogs.
Do you know that?
Absolutely.
Are you familiar with that
No,
case?
I'm not.
Well, it was in the last few months, and they were put on trial by the state and incarcerated because they said you're responsible for your dogs. You choose to have large dogs that can cause injury or death. You're responsible for seeing to it that they are secured at all times. So this is a very cheap lesson for you, sir.
Well, ma'am,
you are responsible.
In
Yeah.
all honesty,
Yeah.
I mean, he has a couple of dogs in his own backyard. Who says they didn't kill the goat? I never seen my dogs attack anybody. They play with my children. They're very loving. I don't see that. I can't see how my dogs did it. Animal control came to my house to see if it was licensed, shots, or the whole bit. And they told me that they rounded up a bunch of dogs that weekend that were running around the neighborhood. So who says it was my dog?
Let me tell you why, sir, I believe it was your dogs. Because the quantum of proof here in a civil proceeding is a preponderance of the evidence, more evidence than not. So let me tell you what logically I am thinking. He has a whole bunch of animals, including dogs, that all live together in one corralled area. So the likelihood of his dogs causing the injury after living together for a very long time, causing injury to this goat, is minimal.
Oh, I have pigs and horses.
Just a second. Listen to me. Just
never
a second.
attacked them before.
Listen to me. Just a second. You're interrupting me, sir.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Your dogs, twice, according to this lady who I believe, got out of your property and invaded his property. And the second time she saw it, one of his animals turns up dead. Now, is it possible that one of his dogs did it? Yes. Is it possible that other stray animals in the neighborhood did it? Yes. I am also satisfied, however, that based upon her testimony, it is more likely than not that your dogs, which you permitted out of your house, ended up on his property, and I am satisfied that he has established through this witness that you owe him
Can I say something?
$194.03 for veterinary bills, which is what you're suing
Can
for,
I
sir.
say something?
Sure.
I had a witness that couldn't make it today because
Then
she
I'm
had
not-
to take to a field trip.
Listen to me,
that said
sir.
That
Then listen
she's
to me.
seen the dogs.
Listen to me.
That wasn't my dogs.
He's trying to talk over me, but doesn't he know that that's not allowed?
Okay.
All right? It's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
allowed, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Because if a witness couldn't make it today, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
You know, witness can't come in. You can come into court and you say, I need a postponement, I need a continuance because I have a witness who could not come to court with me. Judge entertains that application. When you go forward with a case, you don't try to talk over the judge to get in that witness's testimony because you think, well, I can do it anyway. And because you know, sir, you're a smart man, you know that you can't do that because that's hearsay. So pay him the money and keep your dogs on your own property. That's all.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
You may step out. The back door
He
to your
loaned
right.
his sister-in-law, 34-year-old Elaine Hill, over $3,000. Elaine is countersuing for the care of his now deceased wife.
Mr. Wright, this is your sister-in-law.
Yes.
According to your complaint, you loaned her $3,030, according to your complaint.
Well, it was $3,300, Your Honor. I think that there was a typo.
$3,300.
Yes, ma'am.
And you say she never paid you back.
That's correct.
What was the loan for?
I paid off some back child care to get into an apartment because she currently didn't have any residence to live at. She was living at my home. And miscellaneous things to move into this new apartment.
Had you had a good relationship with her?
Yeah, I guess so, yes.
So you made these series of loans over a period of time.
Yes.
What period of time?
Probably 3 to 4 months, I guess.
Your wife was ill at the time.
No, she had passed away about 8 months prior to this time.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I think it's really bad taste for me to file a claim like that against him.
Good.
In a family, you don't do that. You take care of somebody if they're sick, but at the same time, I would like to make a statement about his lack of consideration for my sister.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. George Wright wants his sister-in-law, Elaine Hill, to pay back over $3,000 in loans.
So it was after your wife died that you made these loans
Yes.
to your sister-in-law. Did you ask for the money back?
Yes, I have.
What did she tell you?
Well, there's a time frame of about 1.5 years that we didn't have any communication because she was living overseas or in the States where I couldn't locate her. But I had asked her on several occasions for reimbursement, and there was a problem with the check, I guess.
What check?
The IRS check.
So you lent her this money and she was supposed to pay you back when she
As soon
got
as
her
the
tax refund,
Yes, ma'am.
which she said she never got?
That's what she is told.
Ms. Hill, I found your answer to his complaint and again your counterclaim. Interesting. How many sisters do you have?
I have, including my deceased sister, 5.
You acknowledge that you took this money from your brother-in-law,
Yes, I did.
and then you give me a series of reasons why you don't think that you should have to pay him back.
Well, there's some misstatements in what he has said. It was based on a tax return that was supposed to be mailed to his residence, but because a problem with a student loan that I had in dispute, they reported it as delinquent, so they kept the money.
You
This is
took the
90
money from him,
Yes.
and you said, as soon as I get my tax return, I'm going to give it back to you.
Yes, that's what.
And you've never paid him back.
No.
Why?
Okay. At the time, we were still waiting for. There had been a notice mailed to his residence that my mother had received, in the mail because she was living with my brother-in-law after my sister passed away, and it had said that there was a problem computing and it was going to be late. Well, in the time that they were giving to mail it, I had gotten married and I moved to England with my new husband, and there were some pretty bad things that happened over there. 5 months into the marriage, I came back to the United States, but because I didn't really have any place to go, I elected to move to Colorado Springs, because they had the resources available that I would be able to have to get my life back together.
Why didn't you pay him back the money? If you didn't get your tax refund check because they held it because of student loans.
Because there were so many, unfortunately, and I've never disputed not owing them the money, but there were just so many things. It just kept getting pushed to the back. It just stayed on the back burner, basically.
Yeah, but you have a counterclaim here, and you say not only don't you owe him the money because you took care of your sister.
Well, I shouldn't have said that, Your Honor. I shouldn't have said that I don't owe him the money. And with the counterclaim, I just wish that he could have handled it better. I hadn't seen him in 2.5 years. When I got back into San Diego after 2.5 years, he was out at sea. And when I asked his wife in January when he was coming home, she says soon.
So you want to withdraw this counterclaim that you have against him for $5,000 for taking care of your sister?
First of all, I just want to say that I think it's really bad taste for me to file a claim like that against him.
Good.
In a family, you don't do that. You take care of somebody if they're sick, but at the same time, I would like to make a statement about his lack of consideration for my sister.
I think
there's been a tremendous amount.
Probably lacks productivity. If what you're planning on doing is maintaining any kind of relationship with him. Do you have children with
Yes.
her sister?
I have a daughter.
Okay, so he's the father of your niece, your deceased sister's child.
We don't even see her anymore. We don't even see Alyssa. I spent maybe a total of 4 hours with her in the last 8 months, and like I said, it goes back to his behavior of ignoring that she had a problem after my sister died emotionally. I mean, his treatment of my mother, it's just...
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This lawsuit is about money.
Yeah.
He made a loan to you, and you had an obligation to repay that loan. He is not a partner in your misfortune. He was initially because he made these loans to you, which was a nice thing for your brother-in-law to do. Your sister wasn't alive anymore, so evidently he felt familial enough with you and cared enough about you to give you over $3,000.
I agree 100%, and I know I should have paid him back.
So that he's not such a bad guy. So even if you had to send him $50 a month from what you were earning, you said you were in Colorado Springs and you were working very hard, so you take something as a gesture and you send it to him. He hasn't moved so that you didn't know where he was. You say, I know I owe you the money and I'll pay you for it. You just don't ignore it. And then sit back and machinate and ruminate as to why perhaps you don't owe him the money. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,300. Your countersuit is withdrawn.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
पुराने वक्तों की बात है, एक गांव में अब्दुल्ला नाम का एक नेकदिल ताजिर रहता था। अल्लाह ने इसे खूब रिज़्क से नवाजा था। इसका उसूल था कि गांव का कोई गरीब या मोहताज उसके दर से खाली ना लूटे। आहिस्ता आहिस्ता इसकी सखावत का चर्चा दूर दूर तक फैल गया। अब न सिर्फ इसके गांव बल्कि आसपास की बस्तियों के लोग भी उसके घर के बाहर कतारें लगाते और बस इसका इंतजार करते कि वो आए और सबकी मदद करे। लेकिन इसकी बीवी को ये सब पसंद ना था। एक दिन वो झुंझला कर बोली, अब्दुल्ला, तुम यूं ही दौलत लुटाते रहे तो एक दिन हम भी उन्हीं की तरह भूखे नंगे हो जाएंगे।
तुम यूं ही धन लटाते रहे तो एक दिन हम भी इन्हीं की तरह भूखे नंगे हो जाएंगे।
अब्दुल्ला ने मुस्करा कर जवाब दिया, बीवी, मुझे डर है कि क़यामत के दिन मेरा रब मुझसे ये ना पूछे कि मैंने दूसरों की मदद क्यों नहीं की जबकि इसने मुझे नवाजा था। बीवी ने सख्ती से कहा, इस रफ्तार से तो जल्द ही हम भी मोहताज हो जाएंगे। अब्दुल्ला खामोश हो गया मगर दिल ही दिल में दुआ की कि आ अल्लाह, मुझे नेकी करने की तौफीक दे और तेरा दिया कभी बंद ना हो। वक्त गुजरता गया, अब्दुल्ला पहले से ज्यादा खर्च करने लगा। यहाँ तक कि एक दिन इसकी जेब खाली हो गई, दुकान बंद करनी पड़ी और घर में फाके होने लगे। गुर्बत आ गई मगर अब्दुल्ला ने हिम्मत ना हारी और बकरियां चुराने का काम शुरू कर दिया। बीवी दिन रात ताने देती कि देख लिया, हम भी उन्हीं फकीरों जैसे हो गए जिन पर तुम तरस खाते थे। एक दिन वो बकरियां चरा रहा था कि अचानक जंगल में आग लग गई। इसने दूर से एक छोटी सी सांपन्नी को आग में फंसे देखा। दिल में रहम आया, जान पर खेल कर आग में कूदा और इसे निकाल लाया। हैरत की बात यह थी कि वो सांपन्नी इंसानों की तरह बोलने लगी। इसने कहा, मैं कोई आम सांप नहीं, जिन्नात के बादशाह की बेटी हूँ।
मैं कोई आम सांप नहीं, जन्नात के बादशाह की बेटी हूँ।
तुमने मेरी जान बचाई है, मैं इसका बदला जरूर दूंगी। ये कहकर वो इसे अपने बाप जिन्नात के बादशाह के महल ले गई। बादशाह ने खुश होकर कहा, हम तुम्हें माल नहीं दे सकते मगर तुम्हें एक नायाब इल्म देते हैं। आज से तुम जानवरों की जुबान समझ सकोगे, लेकिन शर्त यह है कि तुम ये राज किसी को ना बताना वरना तुम्हारी मौत यकीनी है। अब्दुल्ला ने रजामंदी जाहिर की तो बादशाह ने इसके कानों में फूंक मारी। अचानक सब मंजर गायब हो गया और अब्दुल्ला फिर से अपनी बकरियों के पास खड़ा था, ये सोचते हुए कि शायद ये सब एक अजीब ख्वाब था। घर वापसी पर अब्दुल्ला एक झील के पास से गुजरा जहां दो मछलियां आपस में बातें कर रही थीं। एक ने कहा, अगर झील की तह में वो पुराना संदूक ना होता तो हम इस बड़ी मछली से कभी ना बच पाती।
अगर झील के बीच तले वो पुराना संदूक ना होता,
हाँ, तो हम उस बड़ी मछली से कभी ना बच पाती
जो हमें खाने के लिए पीछे पड़ी थी। ये सुनकर अब्दुल्ला को यकीन हो गया कि जिन्नात वाली बात सच थी। इसने झील में गौता लगाया और वहां से एक जंग आलूद भारी संदूक निकाल लाया। जब ताला तोड़कर ढक्कन खोला तो आंखें खिली की खिली रह गईं। अंदर लाल जवाहरात और हीरे चमक रहे थे। वो जरूरत भर माल लेकर घर पहुंचा। बीवी ने हैरत से पूछा कि ये खजाना कहाँ से मिला। अब्दुल्ला मौत के डर से खामोश रहा। बीवी ने कंधे उचकाती हुए कहा, खैर छोड़ो, बस उम्मीद है इस बार अक्ल से काम लोगे और माल संभाल कर रखोगे। मैं अब घर के बाहर किसी फकीर को नहीं देखना चाहती। अब्दुल्ला को बीवी की नाशुक्री पर दुख हुआ। इसने फैसला किया कि अब वो गरीबों को घर बुलाने के बजाय उनके लिए एक पनाहगाह बनाएगा। इसने सारा खजाना निकाला और एक अजीम अलशान सराय तामीर की जहां गरीबों को खाना और रोजगार मिलने लगा। कुछ अरसा बाद सफर के दौरान अब्दुल्ला ने अपने खच्चर को दूसरे खच्चर से कहते सुना, भाई आहिस्ता चल, मालिक की बीवी उम्मीद से है, अगर झटका लगा तो बच्चा जाय हो सकता है। हमारा मालिक बहुत नेक है, हमें इसका ख्याल रखना चाहिए। अब्दुल्ला ये सुनकर खुशी से बीवी की तरफ झुका और इसे मुबारकबाद दी। बीवी हैरान रह गई क्योंकि ये बात उसके सिवा कोई नहीं जानता था। इसका शक बढ़ने लगा कि अब्दुल्ला कोई राज छुपा रहा है। कुछ दिन बाद एक आदमी अब्दुल्ला के पास आया और कहा, मेरे पास लीमों और माल्टों की बड़ी खेप है, लेकिन अभी खबर मिली है कि बेटी बीमार है, जल्दी वापस जाना है। तुम ये सारा माल आधी कीमत पर ले लो। अब्दुल्ला ने खजाने से बचा हुआ सारा पैसा निकाल कर दे दिया। ये सब बीवी खिड़की से देख रही थी। आदमी के जाने के बाद बीवी गुस्से से बोली, तुम पागल हो गए हो क्या? इतने लीमू और माल्टे कौन खरीदेगा?
तुम पागल हो गए हो क्या? इतने लीमू और माल्टे कौन खरीदेगा?
सड़ गए तो फिर हम वहीं के वहीं पुराने हाल में आ जाएंगे। अब्दुल्ला ने इत्मीनान से कहा, रिस्क अल्लाह के हाथ में है। बाद में वो अकेला बैठा सोचने लगा, शायद बीवी की बात दुरुस्त हो, मगर मैंने इस आदमी की मजबूरी देखकर ही ये सौदा किया। इसी दौरान दो चिड़ियां खिड़की पर आकर बैठ गईं। एक ने दूसरी से कहा, कल हमें ये जगह छोड़नी होगी, मौसम बहुत सर्द होने वाला है। अब्दुल्ला ने दिल में कहा, अभी ये लीमो और माल्टे नहीं बेचूंगा, बस मौसम देखता हूँ क्या होता है। बीवी हंसती और ताने देती, चुल्लू पागल, बीच दो ये माल, शायद थोड़ा नुकसान पूरा हो जाए। अब्दुल्ला मुस्कुरा कर कहता, बीवी बेहतर है तुम डांसिस की तैयारी करो। ताजिरों को खबर मिली कि अब्दुल्ला के पास एक बड़ी खेप मौजूद है, तो सब सोने और चांदी के संदूक लेकर उसके दरवाजे पर आ गए। अब्दुल्ला ने बीवी को कहा, सुभान अल्लाह, कल तक यहाँ गरीबों की कतार थी, आज अमीरों का हुजूम है। इसने बारी बारी सबको माल बेचा। शाम तक घर सोने और चांदी से भर गया। बीवी खुश तो थी मगर फिर भी उसके दिल में वसवसा था। कुछ दिन बाद इसे पता चला कि अब्दुल्ला ने यतीमों और गरीबों के लिए जो सराय बनवाई है, वो डर गई कि कहीं लीमों और माल्टों का मुनाफा भी फुकरा पर ना लगा दे। वो फौरन उसके पास गई और तेज लहजे में बोली, क्या तुम्हें उन गरीबों के चक्कर में पड़कर पिछली बार का अंजाम याद नहीं?
क्या तुम्हें इन गरीबों के चक्कर में पड़कर पिछली बार का अंजाम याद नहीं?
अब्दुल्ला ने सुकून से कहा, क्या तुम्हें लगता है हमारे पास इतना सोना और चांदी होते हुए भी हम गरीबों के मुंह का नवाला छीन ले? बीवी ने कहा, अल्लाह उन्हें भी रिस्क दे और अता करे जैसे इसने तुम्हें रिस्क और अता दिया। फिर इसने तेजी से कहा, मैं जानती हूँ कि तुम्हारे पीछे कोई राज छुपा हुआ है, और अगर तुमने मुझे सच न बताया तो मैं सब लोगों में मशहूर कर दूंगी कि तुम जादूगर हो और यही तुम्हारी दौलत।
अगर तुमने मुझे सच न बताया तो मैं सब लोगों में मशहूर कर दूंगी कि तुम जादूगर हो।
इसने दिल में कहा, मैं इसे अपना राज बता दूंगा क्योंकि मर जाना हजार गन्ना बेहतर है इस इल्जाम से जो मेरी जिंदगी भर मेरे साथ चिपक जाए। लोग तो जो सुने यकीन कर लेते हैं। फिर खुद ही सोचने लगा, अगर मैंने अपनी बीवी को राज बता दिया तो मैं मर जाऊंगा, जैसा कि जिन्नात के बादशाह ने कहा था, और फिर गरीबों और कमजोरों की देखभाल कौन करेगा। काफी सोच विचार के बाद इसने फैसला किया कि बीवी को अपना राज बताने के बदले वो अपना घर, जायदाद और सोना चांदी सब इसके नाम कर देगा। वो अपनी बीवी के साथ काजी के पास गया और सब कुछ इसके नाम कर दिया। अलबत्ता वो जमीन जिस पर इसने गरीबों के लिए पनागा बनाई थी वो वक्फ रहने दी ताकि खैर का काम जारी रहे। फिर इसने बीवी से कहा, बराए मेहरबानी आज के बाद मेरे करीब ना आना। अगर तुमने ऐसा किया तो मैं तुम पर तलाक का हक इस्तेमाल कर लूंगा। अब हम दोनों अपनी अपनी मर्जी की जिंदगी गुजार सकते हैं क्योंकि हम दोनों में कोई चीज मुश्तरक नहीं। अब्दुल्ला गरीबों और यतीमों की पनागा में रहने लगा और कहने लगा, मरने के बाद मेरे लिए सिर्फ नेक अमल और गरीबों की दुआएं ही फायदा मंद होंगी। दूसरी तरफ बीवी ने इरादा किया कि घर को गिराकर बादशाहों जैसा महल बनाएगी और बड़े ताजरों के साथ कारोबारी सौदे करेगी ताकि मजीद अमीर हो जाए। इसने सोचा, मैंने कभी शौहर की वो जिंदगी पसंद नहीं की जिसमें वो मुझे महरूम रख कर दूसरों को देता था। कुछ ही अरसे में इसने महल तामीर कर लिया, सोना चांदी जमा कर लिया। लेकिन इसके महल में कदम रखने से पहले ही जमीन लरज उठी और महल समेत सब कुछ जमीन में धंस गया। इसके पास कुछ ना बचा और अल्लाह ने इसे उन्हीं गरीबों में शामिल कर दिया जिन पर वो शौहर को तरस खाने से रोकती थी। इस दौरान वो अपने बच्चे की पैदाइश के करीब थी। वो टूटे महल के सामने बैठी रोती और नौहा करती, ये सोचे बगैर के कहाँ जाए क्योंकि सब कुछ लग चुका था। लोग गुजरते तो कोई परवाह ना करता मगर गरीब आकर उसके लिए खाना और पैसे रख जाते। वो हैरान होकर सोचती, गरीब कैसे देता है और अमीर कैसे रोकता है, मगर वो किसी से कुछ ना लेती रही। 3 दिन तक ये हाल रहा। फिर भूख ने निढाल कर दिया और उसने राहगीरों से एक सूखी रोटी के लिए हाथ फैलाया। एक दिन अब्दुल्ला वहां से गुजरा और देखा कि इसका घर जमीन में धंस चुका है और बीवी एक बदहाल और बदबूदार भिखारन बन चुकी है। वो इसे उठाकर एक छोटे से मकान में ले आया जो उसने पनागाह के पास बनाया था। इसने 1 महीने तक इसकी देखभाल की, यहाँ तक कि वो फिर से तंदुरुस्त हो गई। कुछ ही दिनों बाद इसने एक खूबसूरत बच्चा जन्म दिया। अब्दुल्ला ने देखा कि अब वो ना शिकायत करती है, ना किसी चीज पर बेजारी दिखाती है, हालांकि जिंदगी निहायत सादा थी। वो दूसरे मजदूरों के साथ पनागाह के पास वाली जमीन पर काम करता। एक दिन बीवी इसके पास खड़ी होकर बोली, अगर तुम चाहो तो मैं तुम्हारे साथ काम करूंगी। अब्दुल्ला ने हैरत से कहा, मगर ये तो गरीबों का काम है। वो मुस्कुरा कर बोली, तो क्या हुआ अगर ये गरीबों का काम है? अल्लाह ने चाहा तो उनका रिस्क दुनिया में कम रखा मगर वो फिर भी हर हाल में शुक्र अदा करते हैं। फिर इसने नरमी से कहा, मुझे माफ कर दो, मैंने तुम्हारा माल ज़ाय किया और तुम्हारे साथ नाइंसाफी की।
अगर तुम चाहो तो मैं तुम्हारे साथ काम करूंगी। मुझे माफ कर दो, मैं तुम्हारा माल ज़ाया
अब्दुल्ला
किया।
मुस्कुरा कर बोला, तुम ही मेरा असल माल हो और मेरा बेटा मेरी जान है।
तुम ही मेरा असल माल हो और मेरा बेटा मेरी जान है।
ये छोटा सा घर हमारे लिए काफी है। हम इसी के साथ वाली जमीन पर काम करेंगे और सबसे खुशहाल लोग बनेंगे। सेहत की दौलत है और वही सबसे बड़ी नेमत है। यहाँ आज की कहानी खत्म होती है। अल्लाह आपको अपनी अमान में रखे।